Respect to all of y'all. But when my man's talking, if y'all could just chill for a minute, you feel me? Because we just about to give y'all a little just piece of information. If y'all could just give us a little quiet, I so appreciate it. Y'all know I'm a rapper, but I got that DNA, you know? I'm trying not to curse here, so everybody let's just chill for a second. Show respect to the brothers. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank y'all very much. So what was the first instrument you picked up, Clef?
Man, the first instrument I ever picked up was an accordion, man.
An accordion?
Yeah, man, accordion. So my dad bring me from Haiti. We live in the projects of Brooklyn. And that was just one of those instruments that was in the church, you know? So automatically I was picking it up. Ain't feel too sexy.
Okay.
So I moved right onto the organ.
So you started off with instruments first?
Yeah, I started off with a lot of instruments, backing up my sister who was in the church. Singing a lot. So naturally similar to like I would say like Whitney Houston,
okay,
or like just Marvin Gaye, like that church background played a heavy part of just creating records.
So what made you want to start creating records as opposed to just like owning a band and playing instruments? What made you actually want to start producing music?
I said like my daddy, like in the church, because he had this hymn book, and every Sunday I got to do something from the hymn book. And one Sunday I ran out of songs on the hymn book, and I went to my dad and I was like, yo, I'm out of songs. He said, well, if you out of songs, then you have to make up a song then. God give you the brain to make up a song, now you go and you make up a song. You know what I'm saying? So once he said that, I had to go make up the first song.
So the first song you produced wasn't even a hip-hop record?
No, not at all. I'm a student of jazz.
Okay. So
I came up. What I used to do when it come to rap is battle rap. That's really the fugees secret. That's one of the biggest errors. Like, you know, I'm from like 1988 battle school. So I came up battle rapping and doing gospel music in my daddy's church. That was to come up.
How did you explain to your father that you wanted to rap? Especially with his religious background.
You know they're not gonna go for that. He's religious and he's West Indian.
Okay.
So you know the top three, right? Engineer, lawyer, doctor.
Okay.
So, Sean, we ain't falling in any of that category. So he wasn't really going for it. And actually my dad had kicked me out the house. That's how I got to my uncle's house and started the Book of Basement.
So that was probably the best thing for you.
Man, I told you, but at the time it wasn't, man. I was freaking out because I was even in the car. You know, it was a blizzard. I was like, is this the right decision I'm making? But it eventually worked out. But you know, my passion though is like jazz. Like a lot, I love hip hop, but just being like a jazz major in Bellsburg High School, I said, it taught me a lot, definitely.
So would you encourage other producers out there to get into more live instrumentation?
Well, this is my advice to all the producers out there, right? So, I'm 46 now. Yeah, thank you. I know I look good. Thanks. So, I love you too, but check it out though. This is what I want y'all to know though. All you producers that is out here, here's the real talk. I've been inside of the music game professionally since I've been 18 years old. And you gotta say to yourself, how can you last so long, right? So I love everything y'all doing with the laptops and all of that, but I so encourage y'all, even if you don't wanna learn how to play the instrument, just learn the theory of the music. That's all you need to do, just learn the theory, and like that, you'll be able to go from Whitney Houston to T.I. to Lil Wayne to Akon to Shakira to Santana, and I think it's all about the love for learning how to play instruments too, you know?
Absolutely. Now, when did you start, like, I guess, writing music, so to speak? Did you start off as an artist first, a producer first, then artist, or what?
Well, the definition of a producer, just so everybody knows, just because you do a beat, and you cooking up great beats, it don't make you a producer, it just make you a beat maker. So it's a big difference. If you want to be a producer, that means that you got to do the whole composition from beginning to end. So think of a producer as the coach of the basketball team, right? So the producer, all of the instruments, you got LeBron here, you got the different, But now the job is to take it to the championship. So it means that you got to put the entire song together from beginning to end. And for me, that gift really started in my daddy's church, just putting the choir together and writing songs for voices. And I just fell in love with just different singers and different voices.
So what have you been doing with all the music you're making now? Because I know you're recording.
You know, we always recorded. Well, I caught the bug, man. And I started on Carnival 3.
Okay.
And it's crazy because the song I put out right now, Hendrix, and you know, like, so you're in the studio and you're like figuring it out. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna come up with a sound and call it acoustic trap, right?
Acoustic trap, explain what is that about?
Well, it's funny because yesterday I went to the Booger basement, and I went back to the basement, and my people that was with me, they was like, man, my man know about the basement. They're like, yo, the basement.
One time my man did.
Yeah, the Booger basement. They said, yo, that's an original trap house.
Right.
I said, man, what did y'all think? I said, the Fugees is like from the ghetto, and the idea of acoustic trap is we doing music in the basement while the hustle is going on. So this is how I was able to come up with that acoustic trap sound, which is acoustic instruments against like the trap electronics. So we put the first joint out, which was called Hendrix, and now we focus on Carnival 3. So it's gonna be fun. I feel like having fun again.
What's the vibe with the album? Just fun?
Man, it's a world, you know, my whole vibe is world beat.
Okay.
So my whole energy is like, you know, it's like world. So think of like from Shakira to 911 to Gone to November. What happens if you take one album and mix all that up? You know what I mean? So the album's very, what's the word? Eclectic.
Okay.
Very festive.
I know you did the Rap Radar podcast. I haven't got a chance to listen, but I saw a headline from it, and you said that you're open to do a Fugees album if Lauren is open to do it. Is that really something you want to do at this point?
Yeah, I mean, the Fugees is, every rock and roll band get back together once in a while. So I don't see, you know, I just encourage them to do it while I still look like I'm 20-something, you know what I mean? I don't want to be like, you're like 90, like, ready or not, you know what I mean? I'm like, but I would just say like with the Fugees, even with the Fugees, when you was talking about production, right? So all the producers that's out there, the key is you gotta find great talent. Raw talent, because a lot of times it only takes one. So if you got a rapper, just make sure it's the best rapper, the best singer. So the Fugees, I found Lauren when she was like 14 years old. Okay. So and then you gotta invest time in developing the talent of the artist. You know what I mean? So definitely I'd be open. That's a natural thing.
Have you clearly haven't found a muse like Lauren since the Fugees though?
I mean, you haven't heard the Carnival 3, maybe I did. Yeah. So. You know, I did find my muse, and my muse with this whole new project has to be my daughter, who's 11. So I would just say the sound of the music, the sonics, and her, like, I'm in the studio, and she's like, yo, Dad, this is DJ Snake, you might want to hear this remix, you know? Or when I got chosen to do, like, the American Music Awards, and I'm about to perform with Rude, and she's like, Dad, make sure your reggae part is really right. It's almost like you start to look at the child, you say, holy crap, I've just entered a new generation. So I would say she's probably my greatest inspiration right now.
Now, you're 46, do you feel like you have to keep up with these youngins musically?
Well, this is what's beautiful about what we do, right? So we're in the Zen, we're in the Zen space, right? So the beautiful thing about being in the Zen space, every month we create our own summer jam in a different country, right? So that means that I'm known for my live performances and catalogs of music. So that means when people come to Wyclef show, I mean, you're getting an actual show. So that, I would say, the longevity of that, it puts me in a Zen space where you're no longer, so it's like if I'm in the studio with Joey Badass, we vibe, and when I see Drake, it's a big hug, you know? It's sort of like, when you're in that Zen space, you're just very comfortable, because the idea for us now is to constantly do music, find talent, develop talent, and just put it out there.
They always talk about how Quincy Jones made Thriller at what, 50? Do you think a hip-hop producer can make something of that magnitude at 50?
Of course, definitely. I think once again, I think that there are artists that are doing great work, right? Quincy was Quincy, that was the Michael era, right? Now we have a lot of new producers, whether it's Diplo, Kanye, there's always different producers that are constantly pushing the bars, definitely.
Who are the producers that you look to from this generation that you'd be like, all right, he got it?
No, I think Kanye definitely is is like my producer of choice, just in the sense of I don't have a box, so I can leave everything eclectic. I could go from a Beatles record to something to an Afro beat record, you know. So I always applaud that. And I would say, as far as like versatility, like Kendrick Lamar, Drake, J. Cole, you know, like they got that thing, you know, that I like.
Well, actions speak louder than words. I hear that you want to showcase some production this afternoon.
Yeah, no, definitely. What I want to do with the producers that want to get into it is just basically we can run through some records and how I actually created those records. You know what I mean?
So old classic records.
Well, I think that we should. Let's start off with the score.
Perfect. Why not?
Like we can rock with the score.
Why not? What's some like some odd sounds you used on the score that nobody may know about? 'Cause I was listening to Havoc, and Havoc said that on Shipwreck that was actually the stove turning on, the gas stove.
Yeah, no, I would say like with the score, it's so many things. One is like when I play Killing Me Softly, the Fender Rhodes that everyone hear, it ain't even a Fender Rhodes, it's just a sine wave. It's just a and I took the sound and midied it back on the keyboard.
See, that's producer talk. I don't know.
Because I couldn't afford a real basketball. So what I did, so what I did was I created a basketball, and everybody that was coming, they was like, yo, this is a ball. And by the time they try to pick it up to play, they're like, hold up, Cliff, this looks like a ball, but is it a ball? That's what I did with the sound of Killing Me Softly. So when you hear that piano, a lot of people think it's a piano, but I just took a vibration from a tone and I created a piano sound. So I'm very tech savvy, and a lot of people know I'm like a sound engineer by trade. So if I wasn't doing nothing, I'd be like a sound engineer.
So if you told a producer that, if you told one of these up-and-coming producers that, could they be able to mimic it?
Yeah, how many producers use MIDI out there? I mean, yeah, they all use MIDI, right? So all we talking about is taking a sine wave sound and just MIDIing the sound. So definitely, they could do it, but I was doing it when there was no software. Like I created that understanding, that math, right? And check this out. The algorithm. You know what's the biggest thing in the score? Everything that y'all hear in the score is hand automation. I did everything with my hands. Every break you hear, that's me doing the entire hand automation.
Did you know you was crafting a classic then?
No, you just feel like you're doing good music. It's the same way you see you come in here and we jamming, right? You just feel good jamming, and you know it's special. Because it feels special, but you don't know what it is yet. You know what I mean?
Well, can't there be a gift and a curse though? Because you created something that's the bar, but you don't want to necessarily always try to remake that. You just want to make great music, right?
Well, I mean, when I did the score, people was like, man, you could never top the score, right? But then I wrote Hips Don't Lie. That's the biggest song in history, airplay ever. I did 911. I did My Love's Your Love Whitney. I did Santana. I did mad records that went diamond after the score. So for me, I always just wanted to be that producer. So for me, that production was always in my blood. I'm not that dude who's like, I gotta top that. There's no such thing. You ain't gonna never top it. You know what I mean? Either next year you're gonna play a better game or a bad game. But every year we gonna play. You know what I mean?
So you want to play something now?
I mean, we could rock around just with different sounds. So
could y'all keep it down upstairs too while Wyclef is playing, please?
Joe. Yeah. So can I get this on? So check it out. So we'll go Killing Me Softly. Hold on.